Hey there guys, I'm back. I'm doing another recipe for you today. I thought I would go ahead and make you some French toast. Oftentimes you will get some kind of bread at food pantries, either sliced bread for sandwiches or like French loaves or baguettes or something. All of those make excellent French toast. Texas toast makes good French toast as well because it's 6 sauces, etc. So, today I'm going to make another recipe, which is the French toast. This is one that you bake in the oven. You make it a day ahead. You let it sit in your refrigerator overnight. And then, just pop it in the oven and let it bake. So, first things first, I've already sprayed my pan down with coconut spray and put a layer of bread in there so you can see my layer of bread is in my pan. Some of the slices, if you don't have a lot of room, cut them in half, make room. It's easier to do that. Now, right now I'm working with medium eggs. That is one of the things that we get at the food pantry quite often is the medium-sized eggs. It's very rare to get a large egg out of there. But that's okay. I'm not complaining because, these are free to me. They're good eggs, They work perfectly fine. Sometimes if a recipe calls for like 4 eggs, you might have to add 5. But, you just have to adjust. Something like this where you're going to need several eggs, go ahead and, do several eggs. I'm going to start with 3. If I need to make more, I can always make more of my batter to put on there. I would rather make more than waste it because food is expensive right now with the coronavirus. Everything is gone up. I live in upstate New York right now, but I have family down in Tennessee, and my mom told me that they recently paid $2.08 for a dozen of large eggs. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a dozen eggs. $2.08? Are you kidding me? Come on now. It's a little ridiculous. Next thing, you want to put your little milk. This milk right here came from the food pantry. It's 1%. It's shelf stable until you open it. In other words, you can put this box into your cupboard and not refrigerate it, and it's fine. It's processed at high temperature so that it can withstand being on your shelf. But it tastes just fine, and it works. I mean, they are good enough to give these out, and it's a form of milk that you can use for your cereals or recipes like this. I don't ever complain about having to use anything like this that's from the food pantry because it's not coming out of my pocket. And our food pantry up here is really good. Our volunteers will go to Dollar Tree or Walmart and they buy out of their pockets certain things like toothpaste, denture cleanser, toilet paper. They buy, laundry detergent, stuff like that. So they're good up here to really try to take care because they know, number one, they can't get that. And this is pure vanilla extract. No, this did not come from the food pantry. I did buy this out of my pocket. You do have to have a few things at your house to cook with. Also, I'm putting some ground cinnamon in this. This is also something I bought. This is from Aldi. As well as the vanilla extract. Most of my stuff does come from like Aldi or Walmart. If you see stuff from like one of our big stores up here is called Wegmans. And the other big chain grocery store up here is Tops. Tops is based out of Vermont. And Wegmans is actually based out of Rochester, New York. They're a big chain store. They have got literally everything under the sun. So, if you see those brands, the Tops brand or the Wegmans brand, most of the time I got those from the food pantry because I rarely, like maybe a couple times a year, I'll go into Wegmans to get something to make a recipe, or I'll go to Tops. Mostly because neither one of them is super close to my house, and there is no Instacart out where I live. I live out in the darn country, and that's just flat out how it is. We don't get Instacart. Walmart don't deliver. Nobody is going to come out here and bring me groceries. Now, I can do a pickup order at Walmart, and I think Tops also does pickup orders. Last time I checked, they were doing that. Wegmans right now at ours is not. I don't know why. This is brown sugar. It is the Wegmans brand, and it did come from the food pantry. You know, and I don't measure anything, folks. Really, I don't. I'm bad about not measuring. I'm kind of like Miss Jamaril. She is on here quite often cooking and showing y'all some recipes, and you know, she and I know have been cooking a long time, so we just kind of go by feel at this point in our lives. That's about half a cup or so of brown sugar, a teaspoon or so of cinnamon, about a teaspoon or so of vanilla extract, 3 medium eggs, and probably about half to 3/4 of a cup of milk. Like I said, it all depends on how many pieces of bread you're using. You know, the more you make, and if you've got a big family, you are going to need to make more than this little pan. I mean, this is like an 8-inch by 10 or so. It's a little rectangular pan, but it's a small one. It's not even a 9 by 13, folks. It's tiny. But at my house, I don't really need a large pan. It's just 2 of us, and with just 2 people, you're not going to need enough to feed Pharaoh's Army. If y'all don't know who Pharaoh's Army is, that's out of the good book. Just go check that out. I'm sure, you know, he had a big army that came after the children of Israel. So anyway, you know, and I will get in here with my hands. The only people that I have been exposed to and stuff, I mean, I had to go to the pharmacy and stuff like that, and to pick up a couple prescriptions. I'm not sick with the coronavirus, folks. It's routine meds. Things that I take day in, day out. That I have to have for, you know, chronic health conditions. Anyway, other than that, the only 2 people I've been exposed to are my husband and my attendant. I have had, y'all hadn't heard me talk about this, I've had 2 back surgeries and both feet operated on, and I have a hard time sometimes getting things done that need to be done around my house. And I have a really great attendant that comes out 2 to 3 days a week. Fabulous person. You know, my husband, you know, also helps out a lot, you know, with things that are a little bit difficult. Bending is difficult, and standing for long periods of time is a little bit difficult. Other than that, I try to do what I can do, and we make it work, you know. That's just how life is. Now, I'm going to need to, you know, put a little bit more milk in this. and probably another couple eggs. But I think I have enough of everything else in there. So, that being said, a little bit more milk, a couple more eggs. That way I've got plenty of that in there to cover up the bread and keep it nice and moist, etc. Now, again, my trash can is super close as well. My kitchen's not huge to work in, so basically anywhere, either my stovetop or my countertop, they're both super close to the garbage can, and I oftentimes will put super close, so you know, I try to do that. Anyway, just some more milk and eggs. And then that way you've got plenty of this batter part of it. And the you know, bread will soak this up really quite a lot. So, I'm trying to make sure that both sides are getting pretty well, you know, coated, and not that they won't soak up what's already in the pan, but, you know, I'm trying to make sure they all get some. And I'm going to take what was on the bottom, bring it up top so that I can get what was on the top down in the mixture. Now, like I said, this is a recipe you're going to want to leave in the refrigerator at least, you know, a good few hours. I would, at a minimum, leave it in there 4 hours, just for the fact that, you know, it lets the flavors blend together better, and you're going to be baking this, so you definitely want to make sure that, you know, you're not going to have a goopy mess when you get done out of here. Also, before you bake it, you can put on about 1/4 cup of brown sugar. You're going to need that. You're going to also need some pecans. I know a lot of people say pecans, but I'm from Tennessee. We say pecans down there, and that's just how we roll. Anyway, the other thing is some butter. You're going to want to mix those 3 ingredients together. Layer it on top of this. I will show you that when we come back to cook it. But for now, this is done. This is what it's going to look like. Now, granted, you can't tell much difference because this is whole wheat bread. But it does have, this is soaked in. In fact, most of my mixture that I had in here that was up in the top of it, that was kind of, you know, it was kind of floating, has pretty much dissipated, folks. It's soaking into that bread. Again, spray your pan. Either Pam or the generic store brand or coconut oil or something, butter, anything, shortening, whatever you can to grease this. Because you don't want to have to clean up a mess. Anyway, I will see y'all later when I get ready to cook this, and I'll show you how I put my breakfast together. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.